Well, here's a little update. It's been a while since I did an update, but not too much has been going on. Um, Last fall, the tuner and I, or the tuner had that was been helping me. He thought we were having some issues with the fuel pump, that we were kind of running out of fuel pump. In essence, is what he was thinking with the dual fuel pumps that we had in there. So I went ahead and I talked to VMP, and they don't really sell that Gen 1 return style fuel system anymore, and they don't really have any components for it. So what I ended up doing was talking to Fore, which is the company that made the fuel pumps that VMP put in their kit, and they offer a dual to triple pump upgrade, which was nice. So I sent them in the hat and the pumps and everything, and then they basically pulled them out, pulled my two out, gave me a new hat with three in there, and they tested the fuel pumps, and they found that one was marginal and the other one was not very good. So might not necessarily have needed two, might have been okay since that one was marginal and that one wasn't good. I was basically maybe running on one pump or one and a half pumps. But I decided to go through with it anyways and do the triple upgrade, just on the off chance that just on the off chance that the car might need it when moving to E85 and things like that. So probably don't necessarily need it now, but like I said, moving to E85 might need that triple. I decided not to put it on a Hobb switch or anything like that and just run with two, and then the third one just, when you need it, might as well just run all three. It's a return system anyway, so it'll just put back any extra fuel it doesn't need. But I got that done. Since VMP didn't do anything with that first gen kit anymore, they did not have any extra wiring or anything, so I kind of made my own. Kind of bought the individual components, bought the fuse and stuff like that. I had some relays from the 91 when I was putting the high-low fan in that. So basically just kind of wired it in, peeled it back, seen how they kind of wired and linked everything together, and then just tied kind of into the existing harness that VMP already had, and just kind of put the third pump in there. So seemed like good. I just started the car a few minutes ago. Car started fine, pops a little bit, but it is still cold, here in the beginning of March. So it was sunny, but still cold. So hopefully that's kind of why it was popping, and it'll calm down a little bit once I once it gets warmer out and stuff, and we'll see. But she fired right up and sounded good. Still got a little bit of a belt squeak up in here. It sounds like it's coming from right here by the supercharger, or this kind of idler pulley there. I did buy a new belt for it. So I'm going to probably put that on, and we'll see. Back to the fuel pumps. That when I talked to Fore a little bit, they had mentioned that they recommend, if you're running just straight pump gas, to have those pumps checked every couple years. So, about every 2 years, and if you're running 85, to have them checked every year, just to make sure. And they only charge like $25, they said, per pump. Or it was $25 for the first one, $10 for every pump after that. So basically cost me like under $50 to have them sent in and have them tested to make sure that everything's running good. So probably do that every other year, or when we go to 85 every year. It just sits over the winter time, so it doesn't matter anyways. And let's see, what else? So, the seat. So the passenger side seat, I thought was the motors went bad in it because it stopped working in the middle of last summer, and I tested it, and when I put positive or ground to the seat, when I pulled it out to the connectors, nothing happened. So I thought that was bad. So found a junkyard, a salvage yard that had a seat in really good condition that would match, and so I did that, and then just swapped out the headrest with the Foose logo on it. Well, come to find out after I did that, that actually I had misread the wiring diagram. And so, because when I put this in, it did the same thing. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I went back and reread it and saw that I had misread the wiring diagram. So when I tested it, it worked. And I tested the other seat, and it did work. So that's fine. I have an extra seat now. The other seat did have the piece back here to pull the seat forward and stuff was broken, so kind of need to do something with it anyways. So this seat works fine, and then I'll probably look at fixing that other spot on the or fixing the handle the release lever for the seat on the other one, so I have an extra seat then. What it turned out to be was actually when I wired the seat in, because the '07 had powered passenger and driver's seat, the GT500 just had a powered driver's seat but not a passenger seat. So when I wired it in, I found positive coming into the wiring harness, and I just grabbed that and went with it. I guess I should have checked a little bit deeper, because when I ended up tracing all the wiring stuff back, what I was actually borrowing power from was the occupancy sensor, which only had a 7.5 fuse in it. And obviously those motors pull some pretty good juice, so it eventually just popped that fuse, and that was why. So what I ended up doing was tracing back, because I found that it actually does have the provisions in the wiring harness partway back for a powered passenger seat. So the fuses are here, and the wiring runs back to the fuse, this the setting that's down underneath there, the secondary fuse for a lot of the interior stuff. This is where the wiring comes down, and from there, so the wiring gets there, but from there back to the seat is the section that's missing. So basically I bought some clips and stuff off eBay so I could tie into the factory wiring harness, which I did with the clips and stuff, because the part of it wasn't there. So I was able to basically tie in and build on the factory wiring harness and keep it, and so everything is tied in, and so that shouldn't happen anymore. So the seat now, powered seat, works on the passenger side, and like I said, now I'm actually using the correct fuse and everything like that, so that should not happen. Beyond that, like I said, not too much has been happening over the wintertime, because that's why I haven't done much or said much. I did take the front bumper off, as you can see, and the little side skirt pieces on each side, and the little piece right there, the tri-window for the driver's side. All those just had some stress cracks and stuff on them, and just some age, just showing the plastic was kind of cracking over the years and stuff like that. So I pulled those off, and those are being painted right now. I still can't figure out what's up with the window on the driver's side, so I talked to a shop here in town that's hopefully going to get me in the next week or two to take a look at that. The wide body kit is still not fixed on here. I don't know what's going on with that. I think I'm going to end up having to have somebody else do it. The place that did it, I talked to him last spring and told him about it. I mean, he did great work. I mean, it looks beautiful. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, they think that's factory, and also don't realize that they think that's fiberglass too, and I tell them it's a wide body kit on it. So he did good work, but I think, like I mentioned last fall, that the driver's side one is 5/8 of an inch too long, so we were hitting and rubbing on the tire a lot. And I told him about it last spring. He's like, oh, that's kind of weird. And so I kind of explained to him how I figured it out, how I measured, and how I diagnosed that that's what it was. And he's like, okay. Didn't really say anything else. I said, well, you can come over anytime you want. I said, I'm going to try to drive it this summer, since I've been working on it for the last 5 years, as long as it doesn't shred the tire. But I said, you're welcome to come over any day. Let me know after work or on a weekend. Come over and I'll show it to you, and you can kind of see it or whatever. Never heard from him all summer long, just not a peep. Tried to text him last fall a couple times, didn't hear anything back from him. So finally, in October, I stopped over there on my way out to a car show and talked to him and showed it to him. And he was like, oh, yep, I see what you mean. And once I showed it to him, then he was like, yeah, I see. Yep, we got to get that fixed. And I said, well, I'll probably stop driving the car in about a month. So I'll bring it over, and because he's like, well, I'm pretty busy right now. And I said, I understand. I said, he said, you got room in the shop? He goes, probably. I said, well, you can just stick it in the back of the shop, throw a cover on it. And when you get a point during the winter, because I'm not driving anyways, when you get a point to the winter where you got time, you can get to it. I said, fix it. And, then just, as long as it's done by spring, I said, I don't really care. He's like, yeah, that's not a problem or whatever. So I stopped driving it. And then he was having shop problems and was losing his shop and moving to another shop and just didn't have room for it. First he said he just didn't have room for it because he didn't have room for all the other cars, that he had already. And then he said, well, maybe he would have some, time around the beginning of the year. So a couple months went by, didn't hear anything from him. Talked to him. Oh, yep, losing my shop, got to move to another shop. You know, it just, you know, I just, you know, I'll, you know, get to it. You know, it'll be closer to probably early spring by the time I get the new shop set up and I'm ready for you and I get those other projects done. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of pushing it, but all right, whatever. So now, about a month ago, I talked to him and texted him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just busy. You know, I'll probably be, you know, 2 or 3, you know, months, maybe 4 months before I'll be able to get to it." And I'm like, "That's not gonna work. That's, you know, now pushing, you know, like June." I'm like, "I need to be driving the car." He's like, "Sorry, I just, you know." I just got a lot of projects and they're taking longer than I thought, and I'm just really busy. I don't know. It kind of bugs me because the fact that he built them. I paid him good money to do these. He built them wrong, and you know he should be fixing them. You know, I realize he's busy, but you know I'm an existing customer, and a mistake that he made to me, I should be top on his list. You know, as soon as he gets something done before he starts another project, you know, he should be taking mine in and getting it fixed. Again, since this is a mistake he made and it's not right, and you know, I'm an existing customer, so he should be fixing that. At work, that's what we do. You know, if we send something out and it's not right, you know, they get bumped to the top of the list and their stuff is made, you know, and it's sent out to them. We don't charge them shipping. We send it out, you know, fast to them. We take care of it. It's on the top of the list. So to me, that's the way that this should be being handled too, and it's not. So I'm going to end up basically, I'm going to talk to, hopefully the weather's nice this week. I'm going to take it to somebody who used to have a body shop and kind of retired, but still does a few things on the side. So, or kind of sold his shop, I should say. So I'm going to see if I'm going to take it to him, show him, see if that's something he wants to tackle. I'm going to also talk to a couple other people in case he, you know, is busy or doesn't really want to do it, and see if they can do it. But I'm probably going to end up paying somebody to fix something that he should be fixing for free, because I can't keep waiting. It needs to get done, and I want to drive the car this summer because hopefully we're going to have the tuning issues now figured out, and I want to be driving. And I don't know, it bugs me, but not much else I can do at this point. Like I said, I may end up having to pay somebody to fix something that, you know, he should be fixing, but I can't wait. You know, I just can't wait that long. But I've rambled on long enough. I was going to make this short since there was not a lot going on, and it's already kind of long, so I apologize for that. But that's all, just kind of what's going on with it. So that's where we're at, and thanks for watching, and I'll let you know when there's something new. Thanks. Bye.